Yeah.
Stop trying to be impressive and be impactful.
Yeah.
It's more important to be impactful than to be impressive.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing.
Say that again.
Yeah, it's more important to be impactful than to be impressive. We spend so much time with our youth trying to impress each other. And if we would spend more time trying to be impactful, we would make much more of a difference in ourselves, in the people around us, and in our community. Good afternoon, Non-Conversation family. I'm Brian K. Jackson, Mayor of the City of Beverly Hills, pastor of First Baptist Church of Elmwood Park, and author of When Two Become One, The Art of Sustaining Love.
All right. What's going
on, man? Hey, good to see you, man.
Man, it's always good. Yes.
Here we are.
Back in St. Louis, Missouri. Y'all know that's where I'm from. First of all, welcome to the Non-Conversations. We say now over never, because now or never gives you too many options. This show, this podcast, whatever you want to call it, our goal is to inspire. We want people to take steps forward. We don't want you to move in fear. We don't want you to move in doubt. We don't want you to use insecurities or past failures or lack of resources as an excuse. You have a gift, you have a dream, you have a relationship, you have anything that you want to make steps, progress towards your next goal. You want to get married, right? You want to start a business. You want to do all those different things. We want to have people on the Non-Conversations who can give you nuggets. And we don't want to have people just talking. We want people that are actually doing things, doing the work, and all these different facets. And so last episode, I used the word multi-hyphenate. And so we have another multi-hyphenate individual with us right now. So we're going to give him an opportunity to run down who he is and what he does. But I'm going to let you know, I'm super excited about this one, because not only is this Pastor Brian K. Jackson, Mayor Brian K. Jackson, and he's going to go into all the other things, but this is my uncle, Pastor Mayor Brian K. Jackson. Welcome to the Non-Conversations.
But thanks for having us. We feel good about being here with our nephew. We've seen him grow up, and what a beautiful thing to see young people that you see grow up and wonder what they're going to be. And then you live long enough to see what they're going to be.
Wow.
And it's refreshing to see.
Wow.
With so many things going on with our youth today all over and all across the country. Seeing young people that are doing refreshing things is a beautiful thing. Now, just to introduce myself, hello to everybody who will ever watch this.
Yes.
Hello, welcome. We welcome you to the city of Beverly Hills. A good place for a family to be. The one thing that I'll tell you is that here in the city of Beverly Hills, we love our small community in Beverly Hills, Missouri. And you're now sitting with us, sharing with us a space that we're very proud of. We're now sitting in the only fully solar-powered municipal building in Missouri.
Wow.
And so a lot of people from Washington, D.C., from California, all over the country have been excited about us doing something so smart, even though we're a small city and we have other things that we're working on. But I am the humble mayor. I've been elected official here since 2002. I became mayor in 2015 and been mayor since 2015. I have a wonderful board that works with me, a wonderful board president that works with me. We get a lot done to try to make things better for our citizens. I've been elected official almost as long as I've been a pastor. Pastor of First Baptist Church of Elmwood Park, 1452 Dillman Road, St. Louis, Missouri, 63132. Church that's been there since 1900, which your grandfather pastored for 33 years. I came behind him. I'm about to celebrate my 17th year.
Wow.
About to go into my 17th year there.
That's good.
And so it is the home of Donnie Hathaway's family.
You have a book that you just wrote.
So
talk about it.
We dropped our book back 2.5 months ago, and it's entitled When Two Become One, The Art of Sustaining Love. It is really based off a 6-session counseling session that I've used. I actually started using the material that I put together in 2005. I actually wrote it in 2008, said I was going to write the book. I wrote 3 chapters of it and then wrote another half a chapter, but the book just sat there. I was watching the internet. A teacher was on there and was saying how she wrote her book in a weekend, and because that made me feel like some kind of way. I'm like, all these years I've been talking about I'm gonna finish this book, and this woman wrote a book
in a weekend.
I said, let me sit down and write this book, and I asked my wife to make me sit down and finish the book. She had input in the book as well. But when two become one, the art of sustaining love is through 28 years of counseling and 28 years of couples retreats, couples ministries, couples groups, and 35 years of marriage. My wife and I will celebrate 35 years of marriage this year. And putting together when two become one, the art of sustaining love. One of the things that we found is that all the things that we put in the book, we even added that was not in the counseling session, but because of the pandemic and what transpired as a result of the pandemic, with the isolation of our youth, the isolation of our seniors, we found that the mental health piece became very important to add to the book. So there's a mental health piece. There's a self-care piece that we added to the book. Because it's very important that you and your mate be able to do some self-care. We talk about boundaries in the book. Even though you're married, sometimes we don't realize that there's still boundaries. Your mate still needs to be able to have time for themselves.
That's good.
It's very important that they have time for themselves. Your marriage will flourish if you allow your mate time to self-care. Because that's very important. Sometimes people want to be under each other every second of the day, but the old school people used to say a term like this: absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's good.
Sometimes it's okay to be away. And whether it's a hunting trip and or a fishing trip or going to see grandma or whatever. Just sometimes your mate being able to go and hang out with her sisters or her friends or whatever. Them being able to get away gives them a time to release. And so that's important. But one of the things that I want to say about when two become one, the art of sustaining love, I put in there, you'll see in big letters on one of the pages, I have inspiration, words of inspiration after each chapter. I put in there something that I think is very important that my wife and I have found very important, that has kept our relationship together. And I tell people in every counseling session, I said, I'm about to tell you something that will help you stay together as long as you want to be together. I tell them that it's going to sound elementary. It's going to sound so elementary that you may not give it as much weight, but if you use it and put it to use, you'll find that it'll keep you and your mate together as long as y'all want to be together. And here it is. If you want somebody around, treat them like you want them around. If you want somebody in your life, treat them like you want them in your life. I tell men, I say, if you get more excited that your best buddy came over to watch the Super Bowl than your wife coming home from work, then you may need something's wrong. You need to check that. Not that you don't need to be excited about your buddy coming to watch the Super Bowl. But your wife should still excite you. And vice versa. If the only time you're excited and happy is when you're around your girlfriends, something's wrong. You need to check that. You should be excited about your husband as well. Or your significant other.
That's good.
My wife, she has no doubt in her mind that I need her, want her, and got to have her every day of my life.
Say it, Unc.
Look, I need her just like, almost as much as I need Jesus.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
But because she can't walk on water.
Close second.
But that's the key, man. You got to keep that kind of energy. For your wife. Continue to date your wife.
That's good.
And a lot of us men, we put out on that first date. We roll the red carpet out. And then we back it out from there.
We finish.
That's it. You know, and I tell people, well, and I guess me and my wife lasted so long because I started off with bags of penny candy.
There you go. So the ceiling, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Sky's the limit.
There you go. Look, we got nowhere to go from up.
Look, look, penny candy, cruising through Forest Park.
Yeah.
Cruising through the park, cruising down the riverfront.
Yeah. Taking
road trips, just driving for 2-3 hours one way and driving back.
You know what you're touching on right now, and I think, and I've heard a lot. I've talked to other married couples, successfully married couples for long years, talk about authenticity. And so what it sounds like, this was in your dating period, right?
Yeah.
Like you talking about guys or women too, dating and doing all these amazing things up front and that you can't really sustain, that's not really authentic to who you are or what your situation is at the time. So the fact that you talk about riding around the park, buying penny candy, you know, probably doing other things, but like, look,
taking walks.
This is what this is. It's not, and you're not presenting it like this is all I got. You presenting it like, hey, this is life.
Yeah.
This is life. I want you to talk a little bit about that. Like, why is it so important, especially when you're looking for those people out here who are maybe dating someone or aspiring to be married at some point? How important is the authenticity, showing up who you are? Like, you know, we talk about people wearing the mask initially.
Yeah.
You know, and how long that only lasts a couple of months, and then you find out who the real person. How important is it to show up as your authentic self from the jump?
Yeah, well, the key thing that we have to understand is that everybody has a persona. Mm-hmm. The word you use, sustainable. Mm-hmm. When you putting on and the persona is not really you, then what happens, you begin to try to keep that up, and it starts to take so much effort and start to take so much energy. Yeah, you begin to look for an off ramp, and as you look for that off ramp, that off ramp ends up being a whole nother person because you raise the bar too high for yourself. Authenticity, allowing a person, this is who I am. You know, I tell people even about the Bible, stop trying to line up with everything people tell you in the church.
Right.
Get to know the God of the Bible.
Right.
You know.
That's good.
And
yourself.
And be you.
Yeah.
I tell young people, be you. And if being you ain't good enough, be you anyway. Because that's all people gonna remember you for.
That's good. Say that again.
Be you. And if being you ain't good enough, be you anyway. Because that's all people gonna remember.
Yeah.
And if you your real authentic self, somebody is gonna like you.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get a chance to talk about my second book that I'm working on, Poetry from a Black Man's Heart.
Okay.
So I've already started well into that book.
Okay.
Poetry from a Black Man's Heart. And you know, and so I have a number of poems in there, but one of the poems I talk about that very thing. Yeah. That when I met my wife, when I met her, I said I found somebody for me. You know, I found somebody for me. You got to find your person
that fits you.
Yeah, that fits you. Everybody don't fit you. Yeah. When young people go to college, I tell them, don't think that you have to fit in with everybody on campus. Yeah. I say find your tribe. Whatever that means, find your tribe. I said, and that may not be your roommate. You and your roommate may not get along at all. Yeah. Don't think that that's a problem. Yeah. You find your tribe. It's important that you be authentic, so people can know. You know, you hate putting confidence in phony people and flaky people and shady people. Yeah. That's and good. People that put on airs and put on faces and masquerade around as somebody else, you never really know who they are. Yeah. And sometimes you find out at the worst times. Yeah. And when you find somebody that'll just be real, this is who I am. Yeah. It's refreshing. It's an authentic thing. And so I guess I have to let your viewers know. Yeah. My wife is from the hood. I'm from the hood. She's from a different hood than me, but they both the same type of neighborhoods. Right. And so I was part of the criminal element in North St. Louis growing up. I was part of the drug scene in St. Louis. You know, I was part of everything that was a problem in our city, I was a part of it.
Yeah.
God allowed me to live. I didn't say he had to let me live. He allowed me to live.
That's good.
And so, but my spiritual journey may not be yours, but it's mine.
Yeah.
And so, what me and my wife learned to do early, because we grew up in the hood, is own your stuff. You got,
own your stuff.
Own your stuff. I tell them, even from my pulpit, I did what they said I did. Didn't nobody lie on me.
Yeah.
I actually did do it.
Yeah.
I did break in your house. I did break in your car. I did steal your car. I'm the one that stole your hubcaps. I'm the one that stole your battery, your CB radio, your cassette tape out of your car.
Yeah.
I'm the one that, I'm the one that slept with your daughter, sold your kids drugs.
Yeah.
Introduce your kids to getting high and drinking. Tried to one night stand your daughter at the party with no intention of her ever being my girlfriend.
Yeah.
All of that. I gotta own all of that.
Yeah.
Because that's who that's me. I can't separate the bad from the good. I can just decide not to be the bad part.
Yeah.
And move on. But first I gotta own my stuff.
Gotta own it. You said two things there. You said own your stuff.
Yeah.
And then you said find your tribe.
Yeah.
So for there's a married couple, somebody that's watching this right now, who maybe they're in the early stages, or maybe they're engaged, or whatever it is, and they're struggling with being their authentic self, maybe, but allowing the person that they're with to own their stuff instead of trying to change them.
Yeah.
So what can you share with any individual, in a relationship, a marriage, whatever it is, about how you navigated owning your stuff, but also allowing your mate to own their stuff and not trying to change them into being this kind of thing that you want them to be?
Well, what I found, and I'm glad that I came from the streets. My wife was, even though she lived in the hood, she was not a street. She wasn't for the streets or in the streets.
Yeah.
She was more of a sheltered young lady in the hood, and we had those in our neighborhood as well.
Oh, for sure.
Their parents wouldn't let them out with us heathens.
Right.
That's what we were.
Yeah.
But I applaud that too. That's dope too.
Yeah.
What I did early on is some of the things that growing up in the house with 6 sisters, if I didn't learn nothing else, it was how to talk to women.
Yeah.
And so a woman wants you to have some variety to yourself.
Yeah.
So I was always able to laugh and talk. I was always able to have serious conversations about any topic.
Yeah.
Whether it be politics, religion, whether it be social, whether it be music, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I was comfortable with is telling people exactly who I was and where I came from.
Yeah.
That I was a drug addict.
Yeah.
That I was an alcoholic, that I was a thief.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that I was promiscuous.
Yeah.
And then be able to show them, not just tell them that that's not me now.
Yeah.
See, the jury is always out when you first start dating.
Yeah.
Even after you tell people who you are, sometimes it's a turnoff to some people when you tell them your whole self, your whole story. But I would rather it be that and you don't call me back.
Yeah.
Than to waste my time.
Or your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a problem for you and you didn't say it. I'm gonna be comfortable talking to you. And a lot of times when you're comfortable opening up to somebody, sometimes they don't mind opening up to you.
Yeah.
But in my wife opening up to me, not just from her, but from even her family, I learned about who she was.
Yeah.
But the other thing I learned about her is that she wasn't gonna play with it. You either for real or you not, and if you ain't, you moving on.
Yeah.
And so
that's good.
It's about accepting the fact that you and that person may come from different places, you were raised different ways, but everybody has flaws. If you're looking for a perfect person, you'll never have anybody.
Yeah, that's real.
Everybody come with some baggage.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of red in my ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got less red in their ledger than me.
Right.
But I ain't trying to hide from mine.
Right.
You know, I own up to mine and keep moving forward to show the positivity of even what dirt can become. You know.
That's good.
You're not the full product yet.
Yeah.
Of what your journey is gonna produce. Your story is still being written.
Right.
And the pages are still being turned. And so it ain't good for people to lock you in where you are now and say, this is Cam. This is Cam.
So good. That's so good what you saying.
You know, because Cam is still evolving.
Right.
And a lot of people want to everybody that's up now may not be up later. Yeah. Everybody who's down now may not be down later.
Yeah.
Before I started pastoring, my pastoring father in the ministry, he told me, he said, when you start pastoring, he said, understand this. Your good people can become your bad people. Your bad people can become your good people.
That's leadership 101, really.
He say, so whatever you do, don't take sides. Don't have no sides. Stand right there in the middle and lead.
There you go.
And that's whatever happens on either side, you handle it. I learned from him. Don't make scenes. You don't need to show people you the leader.
Yeah.
Just lead.
Yeah.
I had a boss of mine. I managed in a manufacturing company before, and had a department of 28 to 32 people.
Yeah.
And he told me when I was a young manager, he told me in the manufacturing plant, he said, if you have to ever tell somebody you the boss, you're not the boss.
Not the boss. You're not the boss. Yeah.
He said, he said, all you have to do is be. You don't have to let nobody see that you the boss. You don't have to tell people you the boss. You don't have to
announce it. Yeah.
Now he told me another little trick about leadership. Because sometimes leaders do have to lay the law down.
Yeah.
But he told me always remain even keel. He said, and every now and then you may have to take it up a notch.
Yeah.
He said, but here's what you do. Always start at 0. He said, and if you ever have to go to 100, make sure everybody in that room know they don't ever want you to go to 100 again.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you don't go there often. See, if you always up here all the time, people stop taking you serious.
Yeah, yeah, and they're just gonna adjust how they are. All right, your 100 now becomes 0 to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Pink, red. So pink, red.
Hey, yo, what up, what up, what up? This is your boy, Cameron Classic Mike. First of all, thank you for watching the 9 Conversations right here on COTL-TV. That's at Content Outside the Lines, or Content Outside the Lines, whichever way you want to say it. That's how we meant it. Right here on YouTube. I hope you've been inspired by some of the guests that we've had. And if you have and you want to see more of the 9 Conversations or more content like it, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification button so you can see exactly what I'll be posting in the future. And you can also join me over on Instagram at IamClassicMichael, where you can see additional content as well. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. The 9 Life. It's now over never.
I want to touch one more thing on the book, and then I want to move on to some of the other things you got going on. With this book, for those that sit down and read this book, obviously when you were in the process of writing it, and once you got complete with it, you had a vision, maybe even a vision that was given to you.
Yeah.
About what this book is going to do and should be doing for those that are able to get their hands on it and read it. What is it that you want people, maybe a couple of things that you want people to be able to get from this book? Because it's not necessarily always all about marriage.
Right. The intent of the book was to give people the tools that they need to help to shape their relationship into what they want it to be.
Yeah.
See, my relationship don't have to look like yours.
Yeah.
Yours don't have to look like mine.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need people to tell you how your house should be run.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out what works for you and your mate.
Yeah.
It can't be all of what you want. It can't be all of what she wants. You have to find what works for both of you. And when you create an environment like that, what happens is it becomes a happy place, because there it's a place of peace for me, and it's a place of peace for you. That when we come home, we walk into a space that we've created for ourselves.
For us. That's
for
good.
us.
That's good.
And this book, I want to equip them with the tools to be able to shape that environment for you and your mate.
Yeah.
So you can have that the strongest bond. Now it's gonna drop on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's been re-edited, and and put in the book form, because it's in ebook form now.
Yeah.
It's been put in the book form, so they have to re-edit it, reformat it, and all of that.
Yeah.
They'll put it in book form. Everybody who buys a ebook copy, I'm going to give them a printed copy free, so they'll have the paper in their hand.
That's good.
They'll have and so I want to do that for couples.
That's good.
When my book drops, and we'll get to that, because you may want to say something else, but my book, Poetry from a Black Man's Heart, is another powerful book. It's poetry that's loosely based on my life and my upbringing, so I write from a lot of those standpoints. I wrote one about my uncle, Lavon Draper, that was murdered when I was about 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I still remember it like yesterday, but I wrote, he was my favorite uncle. And so I wrote a poem entitled Fragments of Farewell, because I felt like it's a lot of young men like me, because I talk to people a lot of times about unaddressed trauma, which is which affects
we all dealing with
adults, as well as young people. But unaddressed trauma can be a really tough thing. But I knew that it was other young men or young women who had gone through a time where they lost somebody that was very special, very close to them. Not that they were very close or very special to anybody else, but they were special to them. And then the most hurtful thing of it for you as a young person is that you didn't get to say goodbye. You never got to say goodbye. Your favorite uncle or aunt or granny or whoever, and you didn't get to say farewell. And that's hard to just, and people expect you to just get over it and keep walking. And it doesn't go away like that. And that's a traumatic experience for you. And if you don't deal with that trauma, it'll show up in other places in your life. In your relationships, and you gotta deal with.
You won't recognize it if you haven't addressed it and haven't named it. Then when it shows up, you won't recognize it. So it'll be like this thing that you're struggling with.
And so that's what Poetry from Black Man's Heart is about. Speaking from a place of men, especially Black men. Speaking from a place that we don't talk about. Because everybody told us to be tough, be hard, suck it up,
never
don't
let them
cry.
see you sweat.
Never let them see you sweat. You're supposed to, the bravado. Is supposed to be what's displayed.
Which is nothing wrong with that, but that by itself is.
But you know what?
That by itself is not good.
Being an alpha male is fine. But even a pit bull will holler. If he hurt. And sometimes we as Black men don't understand. We have to find somebody or some group of people that when we hurt, that we can cry.
That we can go to.
Because when you don't cry and there's tears that need to be shed, it can cause sickness. It can bring on stress to the level to raise your blood pressure. It causes heart attack, stroke, any other types of diseases that can come from the buildup of stress and having no release.
One of the conversations I recently had with the young guy that I sort of been mentoring recently, we were talking about that, and I kind of said something similar to him. Is just that the tears that you don't allow to come out of you, they're going to come out of someone else. You're going to cause them to come out of someone else. If you don't get them out of you, something that you're doing now is going to cause them to come out.
It shows up.
Yeah, it's going to come out of somewhere.
Other parts of your life, on the job, in your marriage, in your girlfriend boyfriend relationship, in your business transactions, or whatever it may be, it'll show up. I try to tell people, the best thing for you, I don't want to say it's just for a man, but since we're talking about black men, if you hurt, say you hurt. Say it. I told a young person one time, I don't care, bro. I don't care. I said, hold on now. Remember, you just remember and understand what you mean by I don't care. I don't care. Because when you say I don't care, what you're saying is that you're willing to accept any and all consequences and repercussions that's going to come from your actions, from what you're finna do, based on the fact you said you don't care. You don't care. And then you might start to care, and it may be too late. Because now you may have 15, 20-year jail sentence looking at you. Or it may be too late. Or you may be dead. That book is going to be a powerful book. I hope when it drops, everybody gets it. But for When Two Become One, The Art of Sustaining Love, that book is good for any couple. Even if you're thinking about dating somebody, it's going to tell you it's going to give you the tools you need to let that person see if you're the person. I don't know if you're my person. You got pretty eyes. You got long hair, or you got pretty hair, or whatever. But that's not the person. And I try to tell young people, whatever they dressed in, whatever they driving in, whatever they spending, that's not the person. Not the person. Right. You need to get to know the person, not what they have or what they look like. They height and weight and all that. What family they from, what they own. It's none of that. I want to do this because we have a segment that we do on the show. So I want to do that first, and then let's get into some of the other stuff. But the segment that we have is called That's My Jam. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 categories, and I want you can answer them however you want. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you one at a time. So the first one is I want you to give us, since we're talking about your book, and we're talking about relationships and love, I want you to give us 2. No, I'm going to say 3. Give us 3 of the most, let's say, romantic things that you can do. Because I think a lot of people's definition of romance is altered by what they see on television, or maybe what they've heard. What would you say for a man or a woman? The simplest, most romantic things that you can do for your mate? For me, is cook breakfast. Okay, come on. My wife will tell you she'll go to no restaurant that makes better breakfast than me. Come on. That's impressive to me. Number 2, the most romantic thing that I do, I'm able to fix anything. Okay. So anything break in the house, anything need to be done in the house. You're a fixer. If I can't fix it, I'm going to go and find out how to fix it. So she got a man that can fix it. And number 3, I like to travel. There we go. And I like taking my wife somewhere that she's never been. That's good. And so those are 3 things. Those are my jam. No, those are very, very simple, but poignant. I like the breakfast part just because, like I said, it's something that's so simple. Even with the nugget that you gave earlier about, if you want someone to be around, treat them like you want them to be around. It seems like a lot of the things that come with understanding relationships and how to sustain are very simple. It's just the application of it. And so, so that's your first jam. All right. So sticking with the theme of love and romance and all of that. And so I know from personal experience that you're a music guy. All right. So I want you to give your top 5 romantic songs. Your top 5. So as a teenager in high school, I had when I'd have a girl over in high school, it was 3 albums that I played that never missed. Okay. I think I know one of them. It was Isley Brothers. Okay. the one with sensuality on it.
Yeah.
And For the Love of You.
Yeah.
And then it was Marvin Gaye, I Want You.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. And so, and that last one was Smokey Robinson, Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm. Yes.
Those three,
early 80s.
I have never missed.
Okay.
With those three.
Those 3 albums.
Those 3 albums.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah. I'll definitely piggyback on the I Want You. And obviously, you know, I was out before my time, but the fact that
you got another one on there called Come Live With Me.
Oh yeah, no, I know the whole album. The whole album. So the point I'm trying to make is that album and the good music of any kind will stand the test of time, because I didn't really get hip to it until I was about 19. That album.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would listen to it then like it just came out. You know what I'm saying? Same way with my lady or whoever it is. And so, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I have to check. I don't think I've ever listened to the full Quiet Storm album. Yeah.
You listen to that Quiet Storm album.
Okay.
Listen, as I said, the key thing is make sure that whoever you with is somebody you want to be with.
Yeah, that's good.
You will be able to exude more passion that way.
That's good.
You ever been with somebody you didn't want to really be with?
Oh yeah.
You ever been on a date and you was ready to go home?
It's tough.
And it's hard to get away because y'all just ordered the food?
Yeah, it's tough. I've been there. It's tough. And the last jam, I want you to give, and it could be multiple. A scripture, a quote, or a combination, however you want to do this, but a scripture that you go to that's relevant to relationships or anything like that, or a quote, and you can give me both and multiple of them if you want.
So mine is mine, and I don't want to try to get chapter and verse. I have to look it up on my phone to make sure, because I don't want anybody to go and say he messed it up. But I know about her, because it's when I first saw her. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church.
There you go.
And gave himself for it.
That's important, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you start looking at quotes, when you start looking at quotes, is a lot of them are in songs.
Yeah.
Some of the quotes that you want, are in songs. The Dramatics had one say, "Be my girl." Yeah. The quote in the song that I like the best, that I want my wife to always know, that's beating in my heart: "I need you in a desperate way." Yeah. Ooh. The other girls I met were so full of play. Yeah. It's not even a bother that I forgot their name. Yeah. Yeah. In the minute that's a good that one. I first saw you. Yeah. That every little thing came true. That's good. Huh? He's spitting now. Yeah. And so I'm just saying, you if you have somebody that you care deeply about, and you thinking about that, I tell you, a young man that when I counseled him, I counseled his wife, I counseled both of them. And then I counseled him before we did the ceremony. It was a home ceremony in a living room. They moved everything out the living room. Yeah. So he and I said, "Come on, walk with me." We walked down the street. Yeah. And we was walking and talking. And so I stopped him and I said, "So tell me something, man." I say, why this woman? I said, "Why you want to marry this girl?" Yeah. He said, "Well, to be honest, she the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. She the last thing I think about when I go to sleep." I said, "Man, come on, let me get you across this." That it is. You was quote. So since I got to ask you this one, because I think actually this is a song that I feel like I probably first heard you playing as a young kid. Since we're talking about romantic and lyrics. Yeah. I'm going to say a name of a band, and you probably don't know exactly what lyrics I'm talking about. Yeah. The Average White Band. Yeah. Yeah. They got a song that says, the sooner you give a love, it's called a love of your own. Love of your own. The sooner you give a love of your own. The sooner you get to have. The sooner you get to have.
Love of
A
your
love
own.
of your own. And that goes right with the book, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we want people to love us, and we don't know how to love people back. And sometimes people don't know how to love the way they want to be loved, but love is reciprocal.
Yeah.
And if you want to get it, you have to
gotta give it first.
And love is no good unless you give it away.
Yeah, and this, like I said, I'm not married, but I do understand just from a biblical aspect that it's a service. It's a business of service.
Yeah.
Right. And so, a lot of people spend time looking over the shoulder, making sure they're getting, but you got to be willing to give. And that's why I brought that song up, is because I feel like they wrote that perfectly. What's the best way to get in contact with you?
Well, you can reach me, you can reach me on Facebook. I made it real simple. You can message me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You can reach me right at Brian Jackson, BrianJackson. Mm-hmm. Just like you would write it on a piece of paper. Yeah. I made it that simple because I don't want to be hard to find. Yeah. You can email me at bkj7111 at sbcglobal.net. That's an old email address. Yeah. And I've had it probably for 30 years.
Yeah, it's been around for a minute.
Yeah. So they can reach me that way. They can call right here to City Hall, City of Beverly Hills, Missouri, 314-382-6544. Hit extension 11. You'll get the clerk Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Tell her you're looking for me, and leave your information. We'll get back in touch with you. Yeah. Always willing to come and speak to a group. Always willing to come to a couples retreat. Yeah. Always willing to come to do something for a couples ministry or couples group or whatever.
Financial literacy.
Financial literacy, wealth building. Yeah. I did a Build One Credit workshop here.
Mayor of Beverly Hills, Brian K. Jackson, joins us live with a look at the information they have for you. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
So first off, tell me why you thought it was important, why you all thought it was important to offer people this knowledge and these skills.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us. But, for the most part, we looked at the fact that the average credit score in Missouri for families is 707. But in underserved communities, the credit score is about 582. And that credit score of 582 puts people in a very precarious situation as it relates to their finances. Many of them are already on a low income or medium income. And what that causes is for them to fall victim to predatory lenders. It causes them to have to pay more when they're buying a car, trying to buy a house, trying to get insurance, trying to get a credit card. It puts them in jeopardy.
But that's that. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to talk about.
Yeah, no, this has been good. I think, first of all, non-family, we got a lot of nuggets today. I think we probably learned things that we need to be considering financially. We learned things that we definitely need to be considering relationally. We've learned things that we need to be considering for our Black men, that we need to be considering internally, emotionally. And he has a lot of things, books, one that's already out on ebook. And like I said, we'll have the information for you. One that's coming out that he's working on, the poetry, and a lot of programs. But I think one thing, just to kind of wrap it all up, is we talk about people having callings. We talk about people having a purpose. We talk about people making the next step in whatever it is that you were designed to do. And we sit around a lot of times and think about all the things that may limit us from doing those things. Like I said, past. We may look at the past of our family, our family history, and say, nobody's ever done this. Like, why do I believe that I can do this? Or maybe you've tried something and failed at it. So then you just shut down because, those past failures have crippled you. Or you have certain insecurities that, I don't want to put myself out in front because then now I got to answer to all these things that people are going to question me about. And while we're wasting time trying to figure out how to get things right, everything right before we take next steps. He made a great comment earlier about, not asking to generate wealth, if that's the direction you're trying to go into, but just do it, right? And you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to a relationship that you're trying to build or to rebuild. You can apply that to a business that you're trying to start, or you're trying to sustain. You could apply that to anything in life. And so I think the underlying thing that he has talked about through all of these different nuggets that he shared is understanding what it is that you're trying to accomplish and then taking the necessary steps for it to get them done. And sometimes you need to hear from other people. That's what the non-conversation is all about. I don't ever claim to have all the answers. My goal is to sit down with a bunch of people who have figured some things out and who are still figuring some things out in hopes that they can share whatever they can share with you, and that we can all grow from that. And so, I'm glad that you came and sat down with me. I love you, man, as always.
Always
I appreciate you. And we're probably gonna have to get him back because he's got, as you can see, he's got a lot to share and a lot to say. So we're gonna have to get him back on another season of the Non-Conversations. But the non-life, it's now over never. And thank y'all for sharing with us, or thank y'all for sitting with us, and thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you all for watching the Non-Conversation on COTL-TV.
Pink.
So let me go.
Pink, red. Pink, red. Pink, red. Pink.
Hey, yo, what up, what up, what up? This is your boy, Cameron Classic Mike. First of all, thank you for watching the Non-Conversations right here on COTL-TV. That's at Content Outside the Lines, or Content Outside the Lines, whichever way you want to say it. That's how we meant it. Right here on YouTube. I hope you've been inspired by some of the guests that we've had. And if you have and you want to see more of the Non-Conversations or more content like it, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification button so you can see exactly what I'll be posting in the future. And you can also join me over on Instagram at IamClassicMichael, where you can see additional content as well. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. The Non-Life. It's now over never.